Colorado High School Activities Association is on 1010 KSAR, KSIR.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. From Eaton, the Brush Beat Diggers face the Eaton Reds today. Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Fergus with Evan James.
The Beat Diggers starting lineup is brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. Mobile banking on the go makes banking easier for you when you're on the go. Check it out today.
Starting lineup for Brush today, Ty Griffith will be leading off, catching. David Wolf will be the shortstop, hitting second. Caden Moriarty will be on the mound. He'll be pitching and hitting third. Braxton Shelton will be hitting fourth, and he'll be playing second base. Alejandro Maltros Garcia will be the designated hitter. Kyle Wellen is the sixth hitter, and he'll be playing first base. Cesar Hinojos, third base. He'll be batting seventh. Sam Metlin will be the center fielder, batting eighth, and Caden Schwint will be batting ninth out of left field. And Jace Krieger will be playing right field. The opening pitch will be coming up here shortly, Evan. We're looking forward to this ball game. Last night's ball game, Eaton beat Brush 2-0. So you start the season playing the best of the best. Ryan Ure pitched well for Eaton and shut Brush out. Brush had a couple opportunities in order to be able to get some runs, but wasn't able to push anything across. But tonight, Logan Mosier for Eaton will be on the mound for Eaton.
And up goes Ty Griffith. He's going to be the leadoff hitter for Brush.
We'll set the lineup for Eaton. Ben Richter in left, Jaden Stone in center, Ryder True in right, Dirk Duncan third base, Walker Martin shortstop, Cole Schumacher second base, Ryan Ure at first. Brogan Barr will be the catcher, and Logan Mosier is on the mound. The opening pitch is brought to you by Buildings by Design. When it comes to experience, Buildings by Design is the best in the business. Quality, commitment, and experience make Buildings by Design the only choice when it comes to your next project. First pitch is upstairs, ball one. Ty Griffith leading off tonight. Had some good at-bats yesterday against Ure. The pitch from Logan Mosier upstairs. Count two balls, no strikes.
And yesterday, the leadoff hitter for Brush was Braxton Shelton, was it not?
Yes, it was. And they've just reshuffled the lineup a little bit. And Coach Odell, Coach Hernandez for Eaton, we've talked, and we pretty much got an idea that in that pitch, a strike at the knees. Pretty much decided with this being the first of the month of May. Normally you're getting set for playoffs. You're setting your lineup for that. But, here it is, the first game, second game tonight, ball game. And what you're needing to do is have guys step up in order to be able to play ball. And the lineup today will be different than what it will be, 3 weeks from now and definitely 6 weeks from now. The pitch from Logan Mosier, a strike to even the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mosier looks into Barr as catcher for the sign. The pitch. And Griffith taps the ball to the pitcher. Pitcher covers and is able to underhand it to the first baseman for a first out.
And that brings up the senior, David Wolf.
Our game of the week today, of course, brought to you by the Williams Insurance Agency. Noco Zone, backed by Farmers.
David had a nice ball game yesterday. He walked a couple times, and he walked, and he also had a single in the seventh inning, and so was on base in order to give Brush opportunities, but Brush wasn't able to capitalize on that. 1 out, top of the first inning, 69 degrees in Eaton. Beautiful day, blue sky, no wind. The pitch from Mosier, upstairs, ball one.
As I mentioned to you earlier, Kevin, I I said, I can't really see the flag. It's not waving. There's not wind. So,
yeah, it's hanging straight down. Absolutely.
Alejandro Maltos Garcia went yesterday and was terrific. He struck out 12.
Pitch from Mosier.
Here's the pitch on the way from
Off-speed pitch, strike one. Evens account at 1 ball, 1 strike to David Wolf. David Wolf is signed in order to go to Midland University in Nebraska. And I'm looking forward to that opportunity. Today he's playing shortstop, the pitch from Mosier. Curve ball. And Wolf swings through the pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mosier, pitcher for Eaton, has signed, and he'll be playing at Mount St. Mary's in North Dakota, and throws a curveball on the outside corner of the plate, and Wolf swings through the pitch, strikeout swinging for the second out.
And up comes Caden Moriarty. He's today's pitcher. He's throwing righty, but he does bat lefty, so we'll see how it goes.
Moriarty had a hit yesterday in the 4th inning. Swinging strike at the offering from Mosier.
And he was the first player to hit off of Ure yesterday, I do believe.
Yeah, that is correct, Evan. Very good. No balls, 1 strike to Moriarty. Pitch outside, ball 1.
2 outs in the top of the 1st inning. Beat Diggers trying to jump out. Reds jumped out 1-0 yesterday with a run in the 1st, and they got 1 more in the 5th. That's all they needed.
Moriarty getting set here.
The offering from Logan Mosier upstairs. Yesterday, Brush chased the upstairs pitches often from Ure. It just seemed that was on occurrence. He'd throw a pitch up above the letters, and Brush was swinging. And today, so far, they've showed a little more discipline. Pitch on the outside corner to Moriarty. Strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Moriarty is a junior, facing Logan Mosier. Mosier looks in for the sign from Barr, and the pitch. Curveball. Swinging, strike 3.
Good pitch there by Mosier. I mean,
so for Brush, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. And we will be right back. The score after 1/2 inning of play is Brush 0, Eaton 0. You're listening to Brush Beat Diggers Baseball on 1010 KSAR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. We're back to Eaton for the bottom half of the 1st inning. And the lineup for Brush in left field will be Caden Schwint, Sam Metlin in center field, Jace Krieger will be in right, Cesar Hinojos at third base, David Wolf, the senior, at shortstop, Braxton Shelton will be the second baseman, and Kyle Wellen will be the first baseman. Ty Griffith will be behind the plate, and Caden Moriarty is on the mound. He'll be facing lineup that'll be pretty much the same as what it was last night for Eaton. Cole Schumacher will be leading off with Jaden Stone hitting second, Walker Martin third.
High Plains Bank, your friendly local community bank serving Wiggins and all surrounding areas. Find out more at highplainsbank.com. Now, Kevin, as I'm looking out over the field here, I'm seeing mostly a team of juniors. And we have 1 senior and 1 sophomore, it looks like, playing today.
That's exactly what we've got. And, the junior class is a strong class. And so you've got seven juniors on the field for Brush. And to me, Eaton has a number of juniors on their team as well. First pitch from Moriarty is in the dirt, ball 1. Schumacher give it a good look, but just outside. 1 ball, no strike. Moriarty peers into Griffith. Griffith sets up on the outside corner of the plate. And the pitch outside, the chalk for ball 2.
That's one thing I heard yesterday as well, is that Moriarty likes to keep the pitches low.
Yeah, Moriarty will be right at the knees all day. Schumacher, a senior. The pitch from Moriarty. Strike at the knees, the outside corner of the plate. Brush has several arms that can throw very well. Eaton has a number of arms that throw very well. Ure, Tate Smith is already entertaining offers from the Southeast Conference. Logan Mosier, foul ball, down towards first base. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Schumacher.
Moriarty, the junior, set to go again. Shoemaker trying to get the Reds going here in the first inning.
Pitch from Moriarty, outside, ball 3. So we'll go to a full count with the first batter of the game. Alejandro Maltos Garcia struck out 12 yesterday's game in 5 innings. He went 3-2 on Schumacher, and then Schumacher walked in the first inning yesterday and then came around and scored an unearned run. The pitch upstairs, ball 4, and Schumacher takes first base. Brings up Jaden Stone, the center fielder.
Looks like is it a lefty on lefty here?
Well, Moriarty throws from the right side.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Yep. But Eaton has a balanced lineup. Schumacher leads off hitting right, and then you've got Stone and Martin hitting from the left side, and then Ure hitting from the right side. So Moriarty gives Schumacher a look at first, the pitch, and a bunt, and it's fielded by Moriarty off his hand, and no play at first base. I think he would have had a hard time in order to be able to get him out, even if he would have fielded that cleanly. So we'll give him a hit, and Schumacher moves up to second base, and Jaden Stone on at first for the left-handed number 3 hitter, Walker Martin.
Shortstop number 16, Walker Martin.
Walker Martin, a junior for Eaton. Not a good way to start. First pitch from Moriarty to Martin is inside, ball 1.
Right below that elbow.
Runners at first and second, nobody out. Not an envious position to start the game, but Brush was able to get out of it with only 1 unearned run yesterday. See what happens today. And Schumacher advances to third.
Shoemaker over to third with the
on the
base.
Indifference, catcher indifference, but it was a strike.
They have to be aware with runners on first and second on a bunt attempt who's covering the bags, and they were very slow to react on that.
Moriarty looks in, steps off.
So now there's runners at first and third. 1 ball, 1 strike to Walker Martin. Good lead at first by Jaden Stone. Moriarty takes a deep breath, and the pitch, and Martin swings through the pitch for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Walker Martin. Stone looking over at Coach Hernandez to find out if they've got anything on with a 1-2 count. Nobody out. Number 3 hitter Walker Martin at the plate. Moriarty with the pitch. And breaking ball, and to Shelton. Shelton throws to first. That's the only play that he had. Schumacher scores, and Stone moves up to second base.
And that'll bring up Ryan Ure, number 17, playing as the first baseman today. He pitched yesterday against Brush, and as you all may know, he did very well.
Ure is signed with Oklahoma State, and so Division I school. So he'll be going to Stillwater next year. Stone leads off at second. Moriarty with the pitch. Pitch right down the middle of the plate. A strike to Ryan Ure. John Beltran yesterday referenced Ure when he was down at Fort Morgan in a scrimmage, and he cleared the fence 4 times in Fort Morgan. Good hitter. Pitch from Moriarty, fouled off to the right side by Ure. No balls, 2 strikes to Ryan Ure. Runner at second, Jaden Stone. Schumacher in and scored to give Eaton a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first inning. Moriarty, the pitch. Upstairs, Ure lays off the pitch and gives a good look at it, but ball 1.
5 homers, 50 runs batted in to lead the state of Colorado. He also pitched 4-0, 0.8.
Griffith going through his signs. Stone for Eaton leads off second. Moriarty with the pitch, and Ure fouls off the off-speed pitch from Moriarty to the right side. I'm glad I parked far enough down the line. Those balls going off that direction. Make sure that the car doesn't get hit, Evan.
Worse than hail, they say.
Moriarty with the pitch. Upstairs, ball 2.
Evens the count up at 2-2 with 1 out. Here in the bottom of the first, is it not?
Bottom of first, 1 out, 1 in, 1 runner on base. Ure at the plate, 2-2 count. Moriarty gives a good look at Stone and the pitch. Breaking ball, fouled off. So he stays alive. He just fouled that off right at the plate. Umpire Larry Lawhead says, hey, all those balls that I got fouled off, I'm out in my bag. I need a few more. Give me a refill. Since they went off on the right side, Brush's dugout had 2 of them. Gets them back to the umpire Larry Lawhead. Pitch from Moriarty to Ure, a 2-2 pitch. And Ure swings through the pitch for strike 3 for the first out.
For the second out of the inning.
Sorry, second out of the inning.
That brings to the plate the designated hitter number
So that brings up
34,
Tate Smith, sophomore. Tate Smith finished the game yesterday in Brush through 2 innings. Played first base for the first 5 and finished the 6th and 7th inning on the mound. Today he's a designated hitter. Pitch from Moriarty, strike, inside corner of the plate.
He's a designated hitter for Logan Mosier, who's pitching today.
Stone gets a good lead at second base. Moriarty gives him a look. And the pitch, upstairs, ball. 1-1, even up the count. Brush can get out of this, Evan. I think we'll be okay. They can breathe and realize that, hey, Mosier has to throw strikes. He has to get them into the zone. Brush attack those strikes, put the bat on ball. We can get some runs going and show Eaton that we have an offense. Pitch from Moriarty outside, ball 2.
And, you know, this is kind of the same situation that we were in yesterday with walking the first batter, and it's 1-0 now. But we held them there for, what was it, 4 innings or so?
Until the 5th inning.
Yeah.
Yep. Schumacher scored yesterday in the first, and Schumacher scored today in the first, and Tate Smith hits a flare into right center field, and Jaden Stone comes around to score. So Tate Smith is on at first base, and Eaton takes a 2-0 lead.
That'll bring to the plate right fielder number 28, Ryder True.
Ryder True will be the batter. Eaton has a 2-0 lead, 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. Tate Smith, a good lead. And pitch from Moriarty is up and in and hits the batter
Drew down to first base on the hit by pitch.
Tate Smith will move up to second, and that got Ryder True on the left shoulder as he was turning away from the pitch. That'll bring up Dirk Duncan. Dirk Duncan wears 20 on his back. He's a third baseman for Eaton. Moriarty, see if he can recover from this. He's thrown 23 pitches at this point. The pitch from Moriarty, a strike, swinging strike, right at the numbers.
Runners on first and second here with 2 outs to
see if Brush can get out of this. Said that after they'd only given up 1, but definitely with 2-0, definitely need to get out of this inning. And the pitch for Moriarty on the outside corner of the plate, and Dirk Duncan swings through the pitch for strike 2. He's in the hole, 0-2. Moriarty peers into Griffith, his catcher, for the sign and the pitch. And a breaking ball, fouled off. Back towards the on-deck circle for Eaton on the left side. Eaton's field, 336 down the left field line, 330 down the right field line. I would imagine it's probably a good 380 or 390 straightaway center field. 380, Steve Longwell points that out to me. The ball hit to David Wolf at first, and David Wolf sails it over Welland's head, and Tate Smith comes around to score. Ryder True moves up to third, and on the throwing error, Dirk Duncan goes to second base.
They'll bring to the plate the catcher number 12, Brogan Barr.
Now up comes Brogan Barr. Playing in the catcher's position today is number 12. Eaton with their white jerseys with red and white socks. Moriarty with the line and the pitch, outside and up.
Left-handed batter, Brogan Barr. He did not bat last night. He had a designated hitter for him last night. And the pitch to Barr is up and away for ball 1. Thanks, Evan, for covering for me while I caught up on the eye score. Pitch from Moriarty to Barr, a strike on the outside corner of the plate to the left-handed batter. Got runners at second and third for Eaton. Dirk Duncan at second, Ryder True at third. 3 runs are in for Eaton, and the pitch from Moriarty, a strike on the outside corner of the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Brogan Barr, the junior.
And that's a good spot for Moriarty there on the outside half. Pitching against Barr here because Barr has not swung yet.
Pitch from Moriarty inside. Looked like chalk, but this is baseball and not softball.
1 ball, 2 strikes here to Brogan Barr.
Softball, sometimes on chalk, the umpires will give a strike. Baseball, that ball's a little bit smaller, and you don't always get that pitch for a strike in baseball. And the pitch from Moriarty, and swinging strike from Brogan Barr, and he strikes out. The inning recap, Eaton scores 3 runs on 2 hits. There was 1 error, and there were 2 runners left on base. With the score, Eaton 3, Brush 0, you're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. In Eaton, we have Brush Beat Digger Baseball this afternoon. The Eaton Reds jumped out to a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the first inning on your Brush Beat Diggers. Braxton Shelton will be leading off this inning. The number 4 hitter in the lineup for Brush today, the second baseman. The junior wears number 18 on his back. Logan Mosier in the first inning threw 14 pitches. Very economical first inning for him. Shelton slight open stance, the pitch from Mosier.
All right, Mosier kicks and deals. First pitch of the
Outside,
fastball.
ball one.
Up high, kind of the way he started.
Looking at the spray chart for Braxton Shelton, he hits everything from gap to gap, and it's pretty consistent in being able to hit left center, right center, center field. But he's a gap-to-gap hitter. Pitch from Mosier, and Shelton swings through the pitch on the outside corner. The ball had a little bit of tail to it, perhaps a cutter, just natural movement from Logan Mosier. Mosier working quickly, the pitch, and pitch was down in the dirt, and umpire goes to his first base umpire to see if there was a check swing strike, and the first base umpire confirms it, that was a strike. I didn't think that Shelton, brought his bat around that far, but I'm blinded just a little bit by the umpire and where he's set up. The pitch from Mosier, 1-2, and breaking ball upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I think Mosier thought that was a strike.
Yeah, it was top half, I'd say.
The pitch from Mosier upstairs. Ball 3. Full count to the junior Braxton Shelton. Shelton's out of the box, takes a deep breath, refocuses, says, I need a base hit right here, and let's get it started. Come on now. Mosier looks to Brogan Barr, the sign, the pitch, and pitch at the top of the zone, and strikeout looking for Braxton Shelton.
He thought that was a ball.
I think he thought it was a ball, but if the pitch is that close, I think you probably need to be
Swinging.
Yep. Absolutely. First out for Brush. Brings to the plate Alejandro Maltos Garcia, the junior, wears number 12 on his back. He had 12 strikeouts yesterday in 5 innings pitched.
Pitched very well.
His breaking ball was very effective against Eaton. The pitch from Mosier. Maltos Garcia swings through the pitch. Strike 1. Slightly closed stance from Alejandro. Wiggles the bat. Gets a good look at the pitcher, Mosier. Mosier, pitch, breaking ball, and Maltos over to shortstop. Shortstop, Walker Martin throws Maltos Garcia out at first base.
And that'll bring up another junior, Kyle Wellen, wearing number 13.
Kyle Wellen hits from the right side of the plate, wears number 13 on his back, plays first base for Brush in a good manner, but he couldn't climb the ladder in order to be able to corral David Wolf's throw in that last inning. Swings through the first pitch from Logan Mosier.
And Brush wearing their white jerseys today with the maroon and gold accents on the sides and the stirrups, which look very, very clean.
Yeah, it's a clean, fresh look, isn't it? And Eaton is wearing their traditional red pinstripes. Brogan Barr went out to talk to Logan Mosier on the mound. Make sure they've got their signals straight. Might have got crossed up on that last pitch. 0-1 to Kyle Wellen, the pitch from Mosier. Curveball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wellen just curled out of harm's way on that pitch, as it could have brushed him if he wouldn't have. And gets a good look at the pitch. Catcher sets up on the outside corner of the plate, and strike. Mosier hits his spot, and Wellen falls behind in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs for Brush in the top of the second inning. Welland needs to get the stick going for himself, and Mosier gives it a little bit extra, and Welland swings through the pitch for a strikeout swinging. So for Brush, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base, and with a score Eaton 3, Brush Beat Diggers 0. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. On Willie Mays' birthday, Brush Beat Diggers Baseball is playing the Eaton Reds in Eaton. After 1.5 innings of play, it is Eaton 3, Brush 0. Moriarty threw 32 pitches in the first inning, 20 strikes. The first pitch, and lined up the middle by Ben Richter for a base hit.
Richter with the single back up the middle for the Reds.
So Richter, the 9-hitter, on first base.
That'll bring to the plate second
That brings up the top of the order, Cole Schumacher. Schumacher walked his first time and scored. Richter gets a good lead. I think he has good speed. Moriarty gives him a look. Welland holding him on. Pitch from Moriarty is in the dirt. Griffith pulls it out of the dirt and throws it into center field as it skips past Braxton Shelton at second base. So Richter gets a stolen base. Count 1 ball, no strikes to Cole Schumacher. The pitch from Moriarty, swinging, strike. Schumacher wears 26 on his back.
Richter stole on that first pitch, that missed to pitch. It's 1-1 to Schumacher.
Moriarty looks into his catcher, Ty Griffith, for the sign. Looks back to second in the pitch. And Schumacher fouls that off to the right side.
And it's a ball and 2 strikes. So
1 ball, 2 strikes to the batter, Schumacher. Richter giving Coach Hernandez a look. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Probably nothing on at this point. Moriarty gives a look to Richter and the pitch. And it's lined to second baseman Braxton Shelton for the first out.
No, it was straight to his glove. I mean, he didn't really have to do anything but put his glove up and say, hey, I got this.
That's right. And Richter held true and stayed at second base. So that brings up the second hitter in the lineup, Jaden Stone. Stone, the center fielder, hits from the left side. Wears number 1 on his back. Richter leadoff. Looks like Hinojos is playing shortstop and David Wolf has moved over to third base. The pitch from Moriarty, a ball on the outside corner of the plate.
I believe David was playing center field yesterday, if I'm right.
David played center yesterday, started the game today at short. Now he's moved over to third base. 1 ball, no strike to the hitter, swinging on an outside corner of a pitch from Moriarty. 1 ball, 1 strike. 70 degrees, the temperature has risen to. We started at 69, beautiful day. There's rain coming starting Sunday through Tuesday. We'll see what that materializes with that. The pitch from Moriarty upstairs to Jaden Stone.
You know, Kevin, I just got to ask, how you doing?
How am I doing? I'm doing great.
Oh, man.
I'm doing great. Beautiful day for baseball. Let's play 2. But the way the Patriot League has everything set up this year, teams play each other back-to-back, one at one home site and the other at the opposing team's home site. So the Tuesday game was rained out in Brush, just from wet fields. It had about 3/4 to an inch of rain over the previous 4 days. And yesterday the field condition was good. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jaden Stone. Richter leads off from second base. The pitch from Moriarty popped up. Hinojo steps back and misses the ball. Comes off his glove. Didn't really get underneath it, but Richter stays right where he needs to and does not advance. And with that,
Now hitting for the Reds, the shortstop, number 16.
You know, if I were Caden Schwinn at that point in time, I'd be calling Cesar off of that because he had a better angle on it.
As high as that ball was, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, Caden is quick enough that he could have come in order to be able to call Hinojos off. So runners at first and second, bottom of the second inning. Walker Martin swinging strike.
Moriarty getting in the zone here.
Moriarty has thrown well. He's thrown 28 strikes, 15 balls for 43 pitches through this batter. Pitch from Moriarty, curveball, strike on the inside corner at the knees. No balls, 2 strikes to Walker Martin, the number 3 hitter for Eaton. Martin steps into the box, slight open stance, 16 number on his back. Moriarty looks at Richter at second, and the pitch, and Walker swings through the pitch for a strikeout. So we have 2 out, Ryan Ure at the plate. This is not the guy you want to see at the plate with runners on base. We'll see what Moriarty does with Ure. Ure struck out his first time at bat. Yesterday, Maltos Garcia struck Ure out with breaking balls. We'll see what Moriarty does here, and the pitch on the outside corner of the plate. A strike. No runs here in the bottom of the second inning for Eaton. They do have a 3-0 lead over the Brush Beet Diggers. Moriarty steps off the rubber, collects himself. Ure does the same as he steps out of the box, back in, digs in. Moriarty gets a sign from Griffith. Moriarty with the pitch. And Ure swings at a pitch that's on the outside portion of the plate. No balls, 2 strikes.
Now this is big here for Moriarty, considering there's runners on first and second, 2 outs, and if he can get Ure out here, they'll be out of the inning here.
That'd be the ideal plan, Evan. I love to see that. Moriarty steps back off the rubber, says, "Hey, it's me. I just need to catch my breath. I'm ready."
Got to get focused here, you know.
0-2 to Ure. Ure grips his bat, and Moriarty back to the pitch, upstairs, up and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ryan Ure. Ure wears number 17 on his back. Hits from the right side, but throws from the left side. Moriarty throws from the right side and hits from the left side. The pitch from Moriarty, and a swinging strike on the outside corner of the plate. Ure strikes out swinging.
For the Reds, no runs on a couple of hits. There were 2 strikeouts in the inning.
So for Eaton in the bottom half of the second inning, no runs on 1 hit, 1 error by Brush. There were 2 runners left on base with the score Eaton Reds 3, Brush Beet Diggers 0. You're listening to Brush Beet Diggers Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. For the Brush Beet Diggers in the top of the third inning, Cesar Hinojos steps to the plate. Logan Mosier, through 2 innings, has 26 pitches. He had 14 in the first inning, 12 in the second. Hinojos digs in at the plate, slightly closed stance, wiggles his bat. Mosier gets a sign from Brogan Barr, the catcher, and the pitch. And Hinojos fouls that back into foul territory and out of play. Hinojos and Wolf switched positions from shortstop to third and third to shortstop last inning, and then Hinojos got crossed up on that pop-up. It did not cost Brush a run, but that's one of the things that Brush needs to do is cinch up their defense. The pitch from Mosier to Hinojos, a swinging strike. Hinojos falls it in the count, no balls and 2 strikes.
First year with the Reds was 2017. 18-9, they lost in the finals that year.
Mosier, the short, compact windup, and the umpire points at Hinojos on the check swing and rings him up for a strikeout swinging for the first out in the inning for the Brush Beet Diggers. Sam Metlin comes to the plate, the number 8 hitter, playing center field. Caden Schwint will follow, 9 hitter. He's on deck, and then the top of the order, Ty Griffith. The pitch from Mosier, swinging strike to Sam Metlin.
B&B Appliance. B&B Appliance and Repair. From refrigerators to vacuums and everything in between. They have exactly what you need and service it too.
Mosier, the stretch and the pitch outside. Ball on a strike to Sam Metlin. The only 2 for Brush that aren't juniors are Ty Griffith, the sophomore, and David Wolf, the senior, that are on the field. The pitch from Mosier is fouled straight back and over the scorer's booth. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Sam Metlin. He had a good cut at that. I think he just missed it just by a little bit. Hit that on the right part of the bat. Just need to get that thing squared up and hit the ball hard. The pitch from Mosier. Breaking ball, took a little bit off, swinging strike for the second out in the inning. Brings up the number 9 hitter, Caden Schwint.
Now, Caden Schwint, I mean, he plays left field, but he's got the speed. I mean, back in middle school and even high school, setting some records with his speed, and that's why he's so lethal here is when on base, he's just got the speed, and there's not really much stopping him.
He walked a couple times yesterday and had 1 stolen base, moved up on a wild pitch, and was on the move in another instance. The pitch from Mosier to Schwint, upstairs a ball. Schwint was able to lay off those high pitches yesterday. Pretty good eye at the plate. Number 14 on the back. The pitch from Mosier. Throws to Schwint upstairs. You know, sometimes for a high school pitcher, the hardest thing to do is to be able to face that number 9 hitter.
Yeah.
And you don't want to walk him. You don't want to let him on. You want to get an out.
Exactly.
And Mosier throws a strike on the outside corner of the plate, and that just puts more pressure on the pitcher, and the pitcher just tries a little bit extra. And I think that's how, you know, number 9 hitter sometimes has the advantage over the pitcher. As long as he waits for the pitcher to be able to put the ball in the strike zone, put bat on ball, and Schwint checks his swing, but no call down to the first base umpire, and the umpire behind the plate does not offer the strike. So 3 balls and a strike to Schwint. 2 outs. The pitch from Mosier, and Schwint walks. Schwint takes first base with 2 outs, and that'll bring up the top of the order with Ty Griffith.
Ty, first time up, he hit it to the pitcher and flipped it over to first base for that out.
Yeah, he just tapped it to the pitcher, and the pitcher covered that play and was able to get that out at first. Schwint gets a signal from Coach Odell at third base. Schwint leads off at first. they're going to give him a good look because they know that he's got the speed. Griffith choked up on the bat about 3 inches on the knob, swings through the first pitch from Mosier for a strike.
And with these games being more like series, you know, as you'd see in MLB, it is kind of repetitive to see the same players twice.
You have the continuity, and you get to know the other team a lot better, and you understand what their tendencies are when you see them back-to-back. Schwint draws the throw at first base. Mosier throws over to Ryan Ure. Ure's a lefty, so he's got the glove on his right hand and makes it just a little more accessible to be able to put a tag on at first base. Mosier, the sign, the stretch. Schwint, the lead. And he's off, and Griffith swings through the pitch for a strike, and Schwint takes second base on the stolen base.
Like we're saying, he has that enough speed. I mean, it's hard to catch him when he starts going.
So with 2 outs, Schwint on at second. Griffith down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Not a large lead at second base, and Mosier steps off the back of the rubber. Mosier collects himself and says, hey, I need to just take a breath, wet my fingers with my tongue, and Griffith steps out, calls time. Umpire gives him the time at the plate. See if Griffith can put ball in play again, but see if he can find some green grass in that outfield. Beautiful field here in Eaton. The pitch from Mosier. Upstairs, outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ty Griffith. Logan Mosier has thrown 41 pitches at this point in the game. 15 in the inning. Mosier gives a look to Schwint and second, and Griffith hits the ball to right center field, and Jaden Stone moves to his left and collects the ball for the 3rd out in the inning.
No hits, a runner left on base. There were 2 strikeouts and a walk in the inning. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning.
So for Brush, no runs, no hits, no errors. There was 1 runner left on base from the walk. With the score, Eaton Reds 3, Brush Beat Diggers 0. You're listening to Brush Beat Diggers Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. To the bottom of the 3rd inning we head, with Eaton leading your Brush Beat Diggers 3-0. Moriarty takes his warm-up pitch, and Griffith throws down to second base. The infield gathers, says, hey, let's go get him. Good defense. Let's go. And Moriarty sitting on 49 pitches as we head into this bottom of the 3rd inning. Tate Smith will be the hitter for Eaton. He had a single his first time up, knocking in Cole Schumacher. Tate Smith hits from the right side. Sophomore, wears number 34 on his back. Moriarty with the pitch. Strike on the inside portion of the plate.
Like we keep saying, Kevin, Moriarty likes to keep him low, but here and there we do see him throw some high balls. I mean, just to kind of switch it up, keep him guessing.
And that's always good in order to be able to change the eyesight, you know, of the batters. But here's the pitch from Moriarty, and in the dirt, Griffith pulls it out of it. Pulls it out, saves the umpire from taking one off the chest protector. 1 ball, 1 strike. Moriarty peers in, gets the sign and the pitch, and low in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. Evan, you were saying?
I was just going ahead, but that's all right.
Tate Smith is a good-sized kid. What, about 6'3", 6'4"? 6'3".
As a sophomore.
As a sophomore, and getting offers from Southeast Conference for baseball. That's great for him. That means Brush will be facing him over the course of the next 2 years after this game. And if everything works right, we'll see him in the playoffs this year. 3 balls and a strike to Tate Smith. The pitch from Moriarty. Strike on the inside corner. Full count. Slightly open stance by Smith. Sits up in the back of the batter's box. Griffith gives the sign to Moriarty. Sets up on the inside corner of the plate. And a pitch. Strike 3. Looking. Nice pitch, Caden Moriarty. Good job. Smith goes back to the dugout with his bat. That brings up Ryder True.
First out of the inning already.
55 pitches for Moriarty. We're not in trouble or dire straits or anything like that, but yet it's one of those numbers that we just keep track of. Moriarty with a pitch and hit down to third base. David Wolf, and over to first base, and a strike and an out at first.
Good stretch by Kyle Wellen there, as kind of had to reach out, but he still got that out, got his toe on the bag, and he made the out. So
Kyle Wellen gave a good target. David pulled the ball in and threw it straight and true across the diamond for the out. 5-3 on the put out. 2 outs. Hey, this is unfamiliar territory. Nobody for Eaton on base at this point. 2 outs for Moriarty, and the pitch is outside. Griffith can't pull it in. Skips back about halfway to the screen. It's probably about 30 feet between home plate and this back screen. Unlike Brush, where you have about 15 or feet, maybe 12 feet between the back screen and home plate. The pitch from Moriarty, and hit out to right field. Jace Krieger, and pulls it in for a 1-2-3 inning. So for Eaton, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. And after 3 complete innings, Eaton Reds 3, Brush Beat Digger 0. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Eaton, Colorado. Brush Beat Diggers are behind the Eaton Reds 3-0 as we head to the top of the 4th inning. The number 2 hitter, David Wolf, will be coming to the plate. Logan Mosier finishing up his warm-up pitches to Brogan Barr. Looks like maybe 1 or 2 more. 1 more from the umpire. The umpire gives notice. And David Wolf will come to the plate. David struck out his first time to the plate. Brogan Barr throws down to second, throws a strike, and they throw it around. Dirk Duncan slaps Logan Mosier, and David Wolf comes to the plate.
Premier Farm Credit understands production ag and has been serving our rural communities for over 100 years, with locations in Sterling, Fort Morgan, Yuma, and Holyoke.
Mosier looks into Brogan Barr, sets up on the outside corner of the plate, and the pitch outside. Coming up on 1 hour in the game time, and we're just about halfway through 7 innings. The pitch from Mosier low and in. 2 balls, no strikes to David Wolf.
6 Ks in the first 9 outs, 1 walk, 1 base runner, pretty good stuff. But now the second time through the order.
David Wolf is a strong kid and spent time in the weight room, done well there, and can hit the ball, put a little charge to it. Strike from Logan Mosier right down the middle. 2 balls and a strike.
You know, David, not a small kid. I mean, he's standing, what, 6?
I'd say 6'2".
6'2", yeah. Nice strong kid, come a long way. And the pitch up stairs, and that's a strike. On
Right
top
at the
half.
letters.
Yeah,
It was
right at the letters.
Right on
yeah.
the letters on the outside corner of the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Davin. Eaton playing straight away, left, center, and right.
Tom terrific. Tom Seaver with the Mets, man. That dude, he started rolling for get
Richter in left, Stone in center, Ryder True in right. Around the infield, Duncan at third, Martin at short, Schumacher at second, Ure at first. And your battery today, Logan Mosier on the hill. Brogan Bar behind the plate, and the pitch on the outside corner of the plate, swung through by Davin Wolf for a strikeout, swinging. Brings to the plate Caden Moriarty. Moriarty wears number 20 on his back.
Number 20, Caden Moriarty.
Left-handed hitter here. Little lefty on righty action.
Barr sets up on the outside part of the plate. Moriarty hits the ball on the ground to the second baseman. The second baseman gets it over to the first baseman and just gets him out.
Moriarty grounds out to Shoemaker at second.
That'll bring up number 18, Braxton Shelton, playing second today.
2 outs, and that'll bring up the number 4 hitter, Braxton Shelton.
Braxton Shelton will come to the plate now.
1 hour game time.
No, his lifetime with the Reds.
Shelton
His sophomore year, 1.35 ERA.
needs to get things going for himself, but for Brush in general as a team.
He'll run his whole high school career without a loss.
Pitch outside and to the screen for ball 1. It was in the dirt. Barr tried to reach out for it. There's no way that he could get his body in front of it, but it just skips to the screen. Nobody on base, so it doesn't really matter. The dugout for Eaton comes and picks the ball up. Mosier with the pitch. And Shelton hits the ball hard on one hopper to the shortstop. Shortstop over to Ure. And Shelton is out at first for Brush in the top of the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. After 3.5 innings of play, Eaton Reds 3, Brush Beat Digger 0. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Halfway through here in Eaton, and Eaton Reds 3, Brush Beat Diggers 0. Caden Moriarty finishes up his warm-up pitches between innings. And this one, Ty Griffith will throw down to second base. And that'll bring up number 12, the catcher, Brogan Barr, hits from the left side. Barr struck out his first time at the plate today. Everybody gives a fist bump out around the bump on the hill. Moriarty gets his charges from his guys. Griffith says, hey, beautiful day for baseball. Keep pitching well, Moriarty.
Moriarty had a great last 2 innings. Last inning he had a 1-2-3. And the inning before that he got out of a pickle.
Moriarty looks into Ty Griffith, his erstwhile battery mate. Griffith on the outside corner of the plate. Pitch was upstairs and out of the zone. 1 ball, no strikes to Brogan Barr.
Johnson and his team getting their first varsity win at Severance High School the other day.
Moriarty with pitch number 60, a strike, 1 hopper to Braxton Shelton at second, over to Kyle Wellen at first for the out.
Barr grounds out to second base for out number 1.
Again with that one, Braxton didn't have to move very much.
That'll bring up the left fielder, number 4.
Makes the nice play, getting the out at first.
Moriarty switches the ball with the umpire. 1 out, brings up Ben Richter, the number 9 hitter. And then the top of the order, Cole Schumacher. Moriarty peers in to his catcher, Ty Griffith, and the pitch. Outside corner of the plate. Oh, the umpire did not call that a strike. To me, that looked like that was right down the black, and he's been calling that all day to this point. 1 ball, no strikes to Ben Richter. The pitch from Moriarty, and fouled back by Richter to the screen, just to our right.
Those are always fun to watch back, kind of jump a little bit, you know. Expecting it to hit you, but then it doesn't, you know, stop by the fence.
That's why the fence is there. Trust the fence, trust the fence. The pitch from Moriarty. 1-1 to Ben Richter. Curveball. Richter hits the ball, foul down the right field line. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Richter.
One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here in Eaton today.
Moriarty, I think, is getting his feel for the mound and pitching, and Richter goes down on a swinging strike 3.
For out number 2.
2 down. That'll bring up the top of the order in Cole Schumacher. Schumacher walked and scored his first time up, flew out last at bat. Here we are in the bottom of the 4th inning. Pitch from Moriarty outside. Ball 1. Moriarty's feeling it in the pitch. Low. 2-0 to Schumacher, second baseman for Eaton.
Lined out to second in the second, and here he is in the bottom half of the 4th inning on his home field at Eaton High School.
Moriarty, the stretch, the pitch, strike. Strike on the outside corner of the plate, 2-1. 2 outs in the inning.
Now, if Moriarty gets this out here, it'll be 2 innings with a 1-2-3.
That would be ideal. We'd love to be able to see that. The pitch from Moriarty fouled off down the right field line and out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I think Moriarty is just adjusting to, hey, I'm pitching in Eaton, and he's throwing the ball well. Last inning, this inning, to this point. Moriarty with the pitch, upstairs, full count to Schumacher. Schumacher had a full count his first time up in the bottom of the 1st inning and walked. See if Moriarty has some magic where he can throw it past Schumacher, or if Schumacher puts it in play, that the Brush defense is able to take care of business. Griffith sets up low, and the pitch to Hopper to the shortstop Hinojos, over to Wellen at first for the 3rd out. So a 1-2-3 inning, the 2nd inning that has occurred.
Now with a score, Eaton 3, Brush 0. You're listening to Brush Beat Diggers Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
Okay, to the top of the 5th inning. Your Brush Beat Diggers are trailing the Eaton Reds 3-0. Caden Moriarty has put the Reds down 1-2-3 the last 2 innings. Brush brings to the plate the number 5 hitter, Alejandro Maltos Garcia. Maltos Garcia grounded out his first time up today. Mosier, 50 pitches through 3 innings. Looks like Maltos Garcia is about 3 inches up from the knob on the bat. See if we can punch the ball into play. Mosier gets a sign from Barr and the pitch. And Maltos Garcia hits a two-hopper to the shortstop and over to first base for the out from Walker Martin to Ryan Ure. One out for Brush in the top of the fifth inning.
Bring up number 13, Kyle Wellen.
Kyle Wellen comes to the plate. Wellen struck out his first time up.
I think that's a good spot for Cole Shoemaker, too. Going from short back over to second. Probably a truer second baseman than he is a shortstop. Here's the look.
Mosier with a pitch, a curveball, strike. Inside half of the plate.
Good pitch there by Mosier, gotta say.
Mosier's done well today and right around the zone and attacking the zone, getting ahead in the counts. Wellen hits the ball out to left field, probably about the hardest hit ball that Brush has had, but Richter gets underneath the ball and squeezes it for the second out. Brings up Cesar Hinojos.
Now hitting number 22, Cesar Hinojos.
Cesar moved from third base to shortstop after the first inning. And Cesar struck out his first time facing Logan Mosier. The pitch from Mosier, a strike inside half of the plate.
Hinojos is a junior. The shortstop struck out his first time here.
Hinojos is a very versatile player. I mean, as we've seen through the years, he's played catcher, now second base. He's played outfield. And
they've moved Cesar around, haven't they?
they sure have.
Very good athlete. Pitch from Mosier. Outside. Brogan Barr framed that pitch, give the umpire just an extra look. He's turning around and saying, how close was that? Umpire said, hey, might have been close, but it wasn't a strike. One ball and a strike to Cesar Hinojos. Pitch from Mosier. He gives it a little bit extra. Gets ahead in the count on a swinging strike to Hinojos. One ball and two strikes.
Hinojos kind of sitting back in the box.
Very deep in the box. The pitch from Mosier. Inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Cesar.
And that's one thing I've noticed with the Brush players. They kind of sit back in the box instead of forward. You know what I'm saying?
You know, when you face pitchers the caliber that Eaton has that can touch 90, you want to give yourself as much time as possible. Hinojos swings at a pitch in the dirt, and Barr picks it up, throws it to first, and we have an out at third. So for Brush in the top half of the 5th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. With the score, Eaton 3, Brush 0. You're listening to Brush Beat Diggers Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The scoreboard in Eaton, sponsored by the Bank of Colorado. The Eaton Fightin' Reds scoreboard shows that Eaton leading Brush. They scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 1st inning, and that has stood up to this point. Eaton 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors. Brush 0 runs, 0 hits, and 1 error. Throw down from Ty Griffith to Shelton. And that brings to the plate Jaden Stone. Jaden Stone singled in the 1st inning and reached on an error. So he's 1 for 2 today.
In the bottom of the 5th inning, center fielder number 1, Jaden.
And you know, Ty Griffith, though being a sophomore, I mean, I remembered playing with him back in, 2nd and 3rd grade, him being the catcher back then. Like I said, though he's a sophomore, he's very experienced in that position.
Ty Griffith does a nice job behind the plate. He's learned from his dad. He's learned from his uncles on the Bass side of the family. And strike from Moriarty on the outside corner of the plate to the left-handed hitter, Jaden Stone. So Griffith's been prepped for this for some time. He missed out last year in the 2020 season with COVID. Jaden Stone swings at a pitch that's up and out of the zone. No balls, 2 strikes to Jaden Stone.
Reds have won 5 straight in the series.
Ty Griffith,
and 9 of the last 10.
as I was saying, does a nice job behind the plate, controls the pitching staff. Batter at the plate, Jaden Stone, calls a timeout, and the umpire grants it, steps out, and Moriarty gathers himself, takes a deep breath, and the pitch, and hit hard past Welland, but foul down the right field line. I think initially when that ball was hit, the umpire down the first baseline was wondering if he needs to move to his right or to his left. He held his ground, and the ball went to his left for a foul ball. No balls, 2 strikes, and a swinging strike from Jaden Stone on an outside pitch for the first out in the inning.
Big swing and a miss there.
It's good to get the first out in an inning any day, and Moriarty has done that very well the last 2 innings.
You know, that also just builds
no
the confidence.
Traffic. This is the 3rd inning in a row. Moriarty's pitch will be number 75 as we are in the bottom of the 4th inning. Moriarty, the pitch, strike on the outside corner of the plate. Moriarty has thrown 50 strikes and 25 balls. He's doing that 2/3, 1/3. That's what you want to do. 70% would be great. I think when pitchers do that, they control the game very well. Moriarty's thrown 2 strikes for every ball that he's thrown, and Walker Martin pops the ball out to David Wolf at third base, just a soft pop-up for the second out.
Lots of backspin on that ball.
That brings to the plate Ryan Ure, the cleanup hitter, who struck out twice to Caden Moriarty today. Moriarty has found his groove, doing well right here, but you've got a dangerous hitter at the plate in Ryan Ure. The pitch from Moriarty, strike on the outside corner of the plate. Definitely had the black, if not a little bit more, but nice pitch by Moriarty to get ahead in the count, 0-1. Ryan Ure grips his bat and squeezes a little bit tighter. The pitch from Moriarty, and upstairs, and Ure swings through the pitch. Wasn't fully extended. I'm not sure if he was half committed to swing, and he did, and it was an ugly, ugly swing. 0-2 to Ryan Ure.
Moriarty doing a very nice job pitching against Ure today.
The pitch from Moriarty, and fouled off to the third base dugout by Ryan Ure.
Ure steps in the box.
Moriarty is throwing well these last 3 innings. Strike 3, looking, breaking ball on the inside corner of the plate. Ryan Ure has struck out 3 times today, and I'm sure he'll probably be shaking his head as he goes to the dugout. After 5 innings in Eaton, the score is Eaton 3, Brush 0. You're listening to the Brush Beat Digger Baseball Network on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. In Eaton, Colorado, the number 1 preseason team, the Eaton Reds, lead your Brush Beat Diggers, the preseason number 9 team, 3-0. Yesterday, Eaton beat Brush 2-0. Runs scored in the first inning yesterday. Runs scored 3 runs in the first inning today. Good baseball, and we're seeing here today. And Logan Mosier steps on the mound, and pitch number 59 to Sam Metlin, a ball outside. Mosier's strike percentage isn't as good as Moriarty's at this point. It's close. He's probably sitting about 60% strikes. Second pitch, and foul back to the screen and off the catcher's glove, but back to the screen by Sam Metlin. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And you know, Kevin, with yesterday having the rain before and after the game, today is just beautiful. I mean, no rain, clear skies, no wind.
Beautiful day for baseball. The pitch from Mosier upstairs, ball. Reds have action going on in the bullpen. Looks like number 33 for Eaton, left-hander.
Yeah, I'm getting the information from
Pitch from Mosier to Metlin. Swinging strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Sam Metlin.
Logan to go the distance here, but let's see. It's early, got to protect the arms too. That's the biggest thing. Get through these 2 months and be healthy.
Mosier, the pitch, and Metlin swings through the pitch for strike 3. Strikeout swinging. Pitcher down the left field line, warming up for Eaton, is McCormick.
That'll bring up number 14, Caden Schwint.
And here comes Schwinny, as we like to call him. Caden Schwint, number 14.
Number 9 hitter in the Brush lineup, Caden Schwint, walked his first time up today. Caden Schwint has been effective out of the 9-hole. The pitch from Mosier, upstairs, a ball.
Duncan the junior down at third for the Reds. Walker Martin the sophomore.
McCormick is just playing catch. I mean, he's not really throwing hard or anything like that. You know, we look at pitch count. Logan Mosier is not in trouble. Pitch from Mosier, a strike, letter high, outside corner of the plate. But yesterday, Ryan Urey threw 75 pitches, and maybe this early in the season, Coach Hernandez is going to keep his pitchers a little bit under wraps. The pitch from Mosier to Caden Schwint, a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Schwint. Brogan sets up on the inside corner of the plate. And the pitch inside. 2-2 to Schwint.
Almost hit him there.
Schwint gets on base. And Ty Griffith, top of the order, comes up to bat for Brush. But there is just 1 out. And Schwint swings through the pitch for strike 3. Strikeout swinging for the second out. That'll bring up Ty Griffith. Ty Griffith is grounded out, and he's flew out today. So he's put bat on ball.
That'll bring up number 10, Ty Griffith.
Ryan Urey threw 75 yesterday, and Mosier is at 68 right now. Brush yesterday, Alejandro Maltos Garcia threw his full complement of 110. The pitch from Mosier, a breaking ball, strike on the inside portion of the plate. Griffith steps back and takes a look at that and says, "Okay, bring it to me again. I'm going to hit that pitch." Mosier to Barr, sets up on the outside. Pitch is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Barr just kind of getting lackadaisical here a little bit, I see. That's the 3rd pitch he's throw back that he's almost thrown past his pitcher.
The pitch from Mosier. Looked to me like it might have been a strike that Griffith was able to get away with, but the umpire called it a ball, saying, was it the height? Mosier is asking the umpire, asking his catcher. It's like, that must be what it is. 2 balls and a strike to Ty Griffith, the leadoff hitter for the Brush Beat Diggers. The pitch from Mosier. A strike on the outside corner of the plate, 2-2.
2-2. Mosier won.
Everybody is playing straight away, left, center, and right.
Base runner today, that'll walk
Infield,
to Caden Schwinn.
deep in the infield, the pitch from Mosier, and fouled back. Nope, he swung through it, and the catcher corrals the ball and throws out to first base for the drop third strike and then the out at first. So Brush scores, Brush no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. And after 5.5 innings in Eaton, Eaton Reds 3, Brush Beat Diggers 0. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. To the bottom of the 5th inning, are we in the 6th? The bottom of the 6th inning, pardon me, we go, and the 5th hitter in the lineup for Eaton, Tate Smith, will be coming to the plate. We have a defensive change for Brush. Yvonne Cardenas moves to center field for Sam Metlin. Caden Moriarty is still on the mound, 80 pitches, 55 strikes at this point. Tate Smith singled and struck out, and a pitch from Moriarty, a strike right down Broadway.
No balls, 1 strike. He did give up a couple of hits in the second, but escaped damage. But since then, the Reds, nothing.
Moriarty peers into his catcher, Griffith.
Tate singled and scored. RBI single in the first. Struck out in the
Moriarty has found his groove the last 3 innings. Strike on the outside corner of the plate. Strike.
balls and 2 strikes.
2 to Tate Smith. Tate Smith down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes.
For Jaden Stone, 1 for Tate Smith.
And Moriarty doing a great job of getting ahead and attacking the zone here.
You've got a 3-0 lead.
That's an excellent strategy in order to put into play. Moriarty with the pitch and the ball outside.
We held off, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Missed it away
Smith
to get into chase.
gave it a good look, but didn't offer at that pitch.
Beat Diggers in the
But if it would have been a little bit closer, I think he might have swung. Just because Moriarty is found it, he's found it, and he's throwing really well. Moriarty with the pitch, the 1-2 pitch. Strike 3, looking.
strike 3, 1 away is Tate Smith.
Smith down on strikes for out number 1.
First out for Caden Moriarty.
That'll bring to the plate right fielder number 28, Ryder True.
Last 3 innings, Caden Moriarty has just found his stride. He's throwing well, nice and easy, and that brings to the plate Ryder True after that strikeout of Tate Smith. The pitch from Moriarty, and True swings through the pitch for strike 1.
Eaton here seeing a completely different pitcher than they did yesterday in the form of Moriarty. Yesterday, Alejandro Maltos Garcia was pitching.
Hondo throws a little bit harder than what Moriarty does, but Moriarty's been changing his speeds well today, and a pitch just outside.
So it's a ball and a strike right here. Yeah, you talk Ernie Romero.
1 ball, 1 strike to Ryder True. Ryder True was hit by a pitch his first time to the plate today, and he's grounded out, so he's 0 for 1. Moriarty shakes his head positively to his catcher, Ty Griffith. The pitch
Here's the 1-1
outside.
Stood up and out.
2 balls and a strike to Ryder True.
To Rez Christian. Jackson Romero, a terrific point guard.
Now, Beater is scheduled to play Liberty Common here on Monday, but looking at the weather, it's not looking like we're going to have a game there.
You just never know in Colorado. You can have a forecast where there's precipitation and then it never happens. The ball hit by True to the third baseman, and Wolf throws to first base and a little bit offline for the error. Wolf grabbed the ball and fumbled it just briefly, and then threw a little bit off balance to Wellen up the line, and
looking for some insurance.
Pinch runner at first
Ryder
base,
True
number 6,
gets
Eaton
to the
Vacchiera.
bag
Junior will come to the
and safe
in the first inning,
at that point.
flew to
Hayden
right field in the third.
Vacchiera comes to be the courtesy runner for Ryder True.
Next season, it's not just the playoffs when you need to kind of protect the pitching staff. Get as many innings out of
I guess that would be pinch runner, right?
Yep.
Because Ryder True is not pitcher or catcher. So there's a pinch runner, Hayden Vacchiera at first base. Gets a good lead. Dirk Duncan to the plate. Duncan has got on base via the error, and also he flew out 0-2 on the day, and stolen base by Vacchiera.
Yeah, that was. Hey, I don't know Hayden. So big area. That's murdered that name a couple of times. But he's the courtesy runner for
0-1 to Dirk Duncan, the third baseman for Eaton. Vacchiera leads off from second base. Moriarty the pitch. Upstairs.
with a fastball there. So
1 ball and a strike to the number 7 hitter, Dirk Duncan. Evan brings up
scoreboard says
the schedule for Brush, where they play a doubleheader in Liberty Common on Monday. Everything I'm seeing weather-wise is supposed to start raining on Sunday evening after 7 and not stop until Tuesday. Fouled back by Dirk Duncan. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Brogan Bar is out on deck.
Just to our right again.
So we'll just have to wait and see exactly what happens with Monday's game, whether they're able to get it in. If they don't, I was telling the athletic director for Eaton, Steve Longwell, that you've got 36 days in order to be able to get 16 games in. You take 6 days away for Sundays and Memorial Day. Ball hit to Wolf at third, throws over to first for the out, and Vacchiera moves up to third on the ground out.
2 outs in the inning. Now hitting the catcher, number 12, Brogan Bar.
2 outs on the inning. Vacchiera is at third. Brogan Bar, who struck out and grounded out, 0 for 2 today.
I love an infielder that will.
The left-handed batter comes to the plate against Moriarty.
I want the next one. Don't go high. You want the next
Moriarty,
one.
92 pitches, 63 strikes, 29 balls.
Advantage here for Eaton in the 6th.
Definitely getting closer to that 70 percentile. Pitch from Moriarty. A strike on the outside corner, let her high. McCormick is still throwing down in the left field line for Eaton, just lightly with the catcher. Not even on top of the mound, but throwing nonetheless.
Just soft toss there.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he comes in the game here for Eaton. Moriarty, the stretch and the pitch, and the ball hit foul down the right field line.
We're on the bullpen. On the other side, hits the net. Looks like Nate Tyne out there, maybe. And he kind of ducked.
Nate Tyne would be the catcher. And who do we got warming up out there? Evan, can you see that far?
Oh, shoot. It kind of looks like Sam Metlin, if I'm right.
Well, they took him out of the game. I'm not sure that that would be the case. Moriarty from the stretch. Vacchiera at third. The pitch. Curveball, strike 3. Caught looking. So aside from the Ryder True getting on base on the air by David Wolf, Brush strands him. So no runs, no hits, 1 Brush error, and 1 runner left on base. After 6 complete innings of play, Eaton Reds 3, Brush Beat Digger 0. You're listening to the Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. To the 7th inning we go, Evan, with Eaton Reds leading your Brush Beat Diggers 3-0. Brush comes to the plate needing base hits, they need runners, they need runs. Logan Mosier, at this point, 73 pitches, has thrown no-hitter just with the one walk to Caden Schwint at this point. David Wolf comes to the plate. McCormick down the left field line is warming up. I'm sure Coach Hernandez is going to leave Mosier in as long as he doesn't give up a base hit. If he gives up a base hit, I'm sure they'll replace him. I'm just thinking that's the train of thought that Coach Hernandez is doing. The strike to David Wolf falls behind in the count, 0-1. Mosier has done enough in order to keep Brush off balance. Pitch from Mosier, curveball upstairs, out of the zone, 1 ball and a strike.
The U Mary commit is looking for something special here in the 7th inning.
Mosier looks to Barr. Barr sets up on the outside corner and the pitch. And crossed up the catcher, but a pitch was on the inside block of the plate, and Wolf was tied up. There's no way that he was going to be able to get his bat head out ahead enough in order to put that ball in play. So Mosier's up on David Wolf, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch from Mosier, bringing it, strike 3, caught looking. So 1 out.
Wolf down on strikes for out number 1.
Mosier with 6 1/3 inning of no-hit ball. Brush thought that they were facing Ure last night, and Ure gave up 3 hits. Brush has not gotten a hit today against Logan Mosier. Logan Mosier, if I heard the KFKA radio announcer, has not lost as an Eaton Red on the varsity mound. Mosier's first pitch to Caden Moriarty, a ball outside. McCormick a little bit more diligent in warming up, and Mosier, ball 2 high to Moriarty. If there's ever a time that Brush needs to jump on a pitcher, it would be this right here. Mosier brings the ball into the zone. Brush needs to attack it and put the ball in play. Moriarty swings through the pitch from Logan Mosier. Pitch number 80 by Mosier. Mosier's just a tick over 60% strikes, 51 strikes, 29 balls.
12 strikeouts for Logan Mosier today.
Logan Mosier with the pitch to Moriarty, outside. 3 balls and a strike. The only other time that he went 3-1 on a batter, he walked that batter in Caden Schwint. Brush is still in this game. They just need to get some base runners and be able to move them around in order to get some runs across the plate.
Moriarty steps out, and he steps back in here.
Mosier, the sign from Barr, sets up on the outside corner of the plate, and Moriarty swings through the pitch for a strike. 3-2 by Logan Mosier. Mosier's feeling it right now. The adrenaline is going. Shakes the Barr off, but here's the pitch, and Moriarty swings through the pitch for strike 3. So 6 2/3 innings of no-hit ball by Logan Mosier. It's pitch number 83. Brings to the plate Braxton Shelton, the number 4 hitter for Brush. Braxton, listen to me. One swing is not going to win this ball game. We just need base runners at this point in time. Do whatever you can to get on base. That's what we need. Step up to the plate. You've got Hondo on deck. The pitch from Mosier, outside. 1-0 to Braxton Shelton. Shelton has struck out and grounded out today. Shelton focuses on his bat, knows what he needs to do. Mosier gets the sign from Barr, the pitch, and Braxton Shelton swings through that pitch. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. Brush is down to their last out of the game. They need to get some runners on base. They need to get some. And Shelton pops it up down the right field line. This is going to be trouble. Second baseman comes over, and right on the line, Schumacher grabs the ball for the out. And with that, the Eaton Reds beat Diggers 3-0 on Logan Mosier's no-hitter. Wow. Never would have expected that yesterday. You know, you would expect that from Ryan Ure, but Logan Mosier had his good stuff working today. So, with that, Eaton Reds beat Diggers with the score 3-0. 3 runs scored in the top of the first inning. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
The Brush Beat Digger postgame show is brought to you by Morgan Community College. MCC is here to make your dreams become a reality for both traditional and non-traditional students. Check them out today at morgancc.edu.
Wow, who would have thought that we would have come to Eaton and be no-hit by the second pitcher in the lineup for Eaton? Logan Mosier threw a no-hitter against the Brush Beat Diggers. Caden Moriarty pitched a nice game. But Eaton scored all of their runs in the first inning. Cole Schumacher walked and came around on a Tate Smith RBI single. And that was all the runs that Eaton needed for the day. They did tack on 2 more runs in the inning. Brush made a couple of miscues on the day. For Brush, no runs, no hits, 3 errors, and 1 runner left on base, and that was Caden Schwint that walked that broke up the perfect game. And for Eaton, 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors. They played good defense, but they didn't really have too many times that they had pressure put on them. And Eaton left 5 runners left on base. For Brush, yesterday after the game, John Beltran and we discussed the defense for Brush. Brush needs to get that cinched up. You know, to be able to go from a Wednesday to a Thursday, there's not much time in order to be able to except talk to the players. Hey, this is what we've got to do defensively in order to be able to make this happen. But I would imagine that tomorrow's practice and whatever they do Saturday, if anything, prior to the Liberty Common game on Monday, they need to aim towards getting that cinched up, because that right there has befallen them at this point in time. Schumacher, he scored on the base hit. That's all the runs Eaton needed behind Logan Mosier today. But Caden Moriarty pitched a nice game for Brush.
You know, he really did. And as we mentioned, we put Brush against the number 1 team for the preseason. I mean, we can see here clearly why they are that number 1 preseason team. They have very good players, and they did very well.
They don't make mistakes. Number 1 teams do not make mistakes. Number 9 teams, at this point, Brush is 0-2 on the season. We've seen some mistakes. Now, can they clear that up? Absolutely. They can clear that up, and Patriot League is going to be tough. I mean, you've got Eaton at number 1, University at number 2, Res Christian at number 3, Sterling at number 7, and Brush at number 9. That's going to change after this week, just because, the voters are going to say, oh, we can't have a number 9 team being 0-2 anyway. But Brush is going to have to take care of business as they move on. You faced the number 1 pitcher in Ryan Ure last night and was shut out. You faced the number 2 pitcher in Logan Mosier tonight, and you were shut out, not only shut out, but no hit. And you faced Tate Smith. Probably from this point on, except for maybe University, and Res Christian, you're not going to face this caliber of pitching staff over the 2-game set that they have set up in the Patriot League. They play 8 sets of 2 for their 16 games total, and all the games are against the Patriot League.
Yeah, and like I said, this year with the whole COVID and everything like that, this is more of a series, and like you were saying earlier, you really get to know the teams. And that will play a key role in where we're at this year and how well we play, really, for each team.
And as John Beltran elaborated in the University Sterling game on KPMX on Tuesday and then yesterday on 1010 KSIR, that the Patriot League teams are going to be deep into the playoffs. And, Brush is saying, hey, we want to match up with Eaton at some point in time in the playoffs. It's going to be an abbreviated playoffs with 24 teams instead of 32. But to be able to go from here and 7 weeks from now, be prepped and ready in order to be able to play playoff baseball, you're going to be geared up for it as you play in the Patriot League day in, day out, week in, week out. And Brush is going to have to take care of defense, and they've also got to get bat on ball. But you're facing good pitchers, good pitching the last 2 days from Eaton and Ryan Ure, Tate Smith, and Logan Mosier. For Brush, Caden Moriarty was able to have the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings where he didn't give up any runs, hits, or errors. I guess they had the one error in the 6th inning, so we had a runner left at that point. But Moriarty found his stretch in what he was doing and taking care of business of throwing the ball to his catcher, Ty Griffith. So for Brush, they fall on the season to 0-2. Eaton is 2-0. Eaton plays Platte Valley on Saturday here at Eaton. And then on Monday, weather permitting, they play Platte Valley at Platte Valley. Brush has a doubleheader against Liberty Common at 4 and 6 o'clock on Monday in Fort Collins. And the updates will occur on Monday. We'll just see what the weather does to us. After that, then Brush does play Res Christian for a 2-game set at Brush on Thursday the 13th and Saturday the 15th. Brush will be on the road at Res Christian. So at this point, Brush 0-2. They need to set themselves up for the rest of the season. They've got 14 games left. Evan,
Exactly.
any comments?
Right now I don't have any further comments. Like you said, we just have to wait for them to keep going. So,
all right, very good. From Eaton, the sound engineer and producer of Brush Beat Digger Baseball is Rose Condis. For Evan James, I'm Kevin Fergus with the final score: Eaton Reds 3, Brush Beat Digger 0. You've been listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR, KSIR.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.